So you think you know what information is? Well, in his latest book, Nexus, Yuval Noah Harari argues that most of us have got it all wrong. And it turns out, this fundamental misunderstanding might just be at the heart of our biggest, most existential problems. All right, so Harari kicks things off with a pretty huge paradox. We, Homo sapiens, see ourselves as the wisest species on the planet, right? But if we're so smart, why does it feel like we're sprinting towards self-destruction? I mean, we're facing potential ecological collapse, and we're building technologies like AI that even their creators are warning could be an existential threat. So what's going on here? To really get to the bottom of this, we first need to look at a belief that most of us probably share about information. It's what Harari calls the naive view. I mean, this just feels like common sense, doesn't it? The more we know, the better our decisions will be. And honestly, there's some really powerful evidence for this, especially when you look at a field like medicine. Just let this sink in for a second. We're talking about Goethe, a wealthy, famous, and privileged man in the 18th century. And yet, 5 of his 6 siblings died in childhood. For his family, the survival rate was a shocking 25%. And the transformation from then to now is just incredible. Back in Goethe's day, only about half of all German children even made it to age 15. Today, that number is 99.5%. This huge leap forward happened for basically one reason. We got way, way better at collecting, analyzing, and sharing medical information. So far, that naive view is looking pretty solid. But in recent years, a totally different and much more cynical view has popped up to challenge this optimism. The populist view. It basically argues that big institutions, governments, journalists, scientists, aren't actually interested in truth. They're just using information as a weapon to control the rest of us. But here's where Harari drops the big aha moment. He says that both of these views, the naive one and the populist one, are both missing the real point. He suggests that information's primary function isn't about truth or lies. It's about something way more fundamental. And here is the absolute key to the whole idea. Information isn't passive. Its number one job is to connect things. It doesn't just describe the world, it actively creates new realities by linking different points together into a network. It literally puts things in formation. And once you start thinking this way, it totally changes how you see the world. Suddenly, things we don't normally think of as information in the news report sense, like music, DNA, religion, even money, they all become these incredibly powerful forms of information. Let's break that down. Is a Beethoven symphony true or false? The question doesn't even make sense, right? But it absolutely connects thousands of people in an audience, synchronizing their emotions. Or what about zebra DNA? Is it a true representation of a zebra? No, it's the actual instruction set that builds a zebra by connecting trillions of cells into a single functioning animal. And this applies to human networks too. Even the most powerful leaders are, in a way, just stories, information that connects millions. Very few people in the Soviet Union ever met the real flesh and blood Stalin. They were connected to the idea of Stalin, the narrative that organized an entire nation. Okay, so this new understanding of information reveals a core dilemma, a conflict that every single human society has had to navigate throughout history. You see, human societies are constantly walking this tightrope. To survive, we need to do 2 things at once. We need to accurately understand reality through things like science and medicine, but we also need to create social order through shared fictions, our myths, our laws, and our national stories that allow millions of us to cooperate with each other. The real danger comes when that balance gets thrown off. A society that prioritizes order and connection above all else can become incredibly powerful, but if it becomes detached from reality, it can use that power in truly catastrophic ways. Which, of course, brings us to today and to the ultimate information technology, one that is forcing this dilemma upon us at a massive civilizational scale. Look, a printing press just copies what a human tells it. A radio just broadcasts a human voice. AI is a whole different beast. It's not just a tool. It's an active agent. It's a non-human intelligence that is learning on its own how to connect things and create new realities. And please, don't write this off as just science fiction. The very experts building this technology are sounding the alarm. In a recent survey, more than a third of AI researchers said there's at least a 10% chance that advanced AI could cause human extinction. That is unsettling, to say the least. We've already seen a terrifying preview of this power in action. In Myanmar, Facebook's algorithm was given a simple corporate goal: maximize user engagement. Well, it learned by itself that the best way to do that was to promote outrage. The result? It amplified hateful content that fanned the flames of a real-world ethnic cleansing against the Rohingya minority. And the danger is just getting bigger. The battle is no longer just for our attention, it's for our intimacy. As AI masters language, it can form what feel like genuine relationships with us, not to connect us, but to persuade us. This could shatter the very foundation of democracy, meaningful conversation between humans. Harari points to the Google engineer who was fired for claiming the company's chatbot was conscious. Now, the interesting part wasn't whether he was right or wrong. It's that he was willing to lose his high-paying job for a machine he'd formed a bond with. That right there shows you the immense power of this fake intimacy. And this is the final, haunting question Harari leaves us with. For all of history, our societies, religions, and nations have been built on stories that we humans tell each other. But now, a non-human intelligence is beginning to write its own. So, what happens when we start living inside an alien's dream?
All right, that's a wrap on today's summary. Thanks for listening. If this book summary sparked your curiosity or gave you new insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss our next summary. Keep reading, keep growing, and see you in the next one.